Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Friday night. It's a live stream with me, your host, Phil Machi. Welcome. I know I'm a couple minutes late, but it's okay. It's okay. Everyone's gonna be just fine. Let me grab some music, and we'll get to it. Got lots of stuff to talk about tonight, and some announcements, or maybe one announcement, but still. Excuse me. But still, I gotta stop drinking sparkling water before I go on the air. It makes me very burpy. I'm so sorry. All right. There we go. Let's lower that just a little bit. All right. So, welcome. Here we go. Well, this has been quite a busy week. Been making slow and steady progress on the cartoon. But I got interrupted a few times this week, and that's sort of why I think my progress was a little slower. Was it last night? No, 2 nights ago, I was a guest on a podcast that was celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Iron Giant. And so that was fun. Got to talk about the Iron Giant. I don't know if you've watched that movie. It's pretty amazing. And definitely didn't get all the love it deserves back when it was released in the theaters. So, hopefully we paid it proper tribute. And then, for those of you that are Batman fans, and you know that I'm a Batman fan, 1 week ago, Batman Caped Crusader premiered on Amazon Prime. And in 2 nights, I watched all 10 episodes and then made a review video, and that just went up a couple nights ago. Hey, whoever's watching, thanks for the heart. I appreciate that. So my review is up on YouTube right now. If you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out later on. So you kind of got a bonus video this week. I don't think I was even for sure planning on making a video. I wasn't sure I was going to do it. And then I watched the new Batman show, and I was like, I have to say something. I feel compelled to say something about it. So I made a 40-minute review, So if that seems like a long time, it's only a long time if you consider the fact that I took 40 minutes and I felt like I left stuff out. That's how much I could have said about that show. Anyway, so amongst and besides all of that, I still managed to finish the walk cycle that I was working on last week, which means scene 22 is pretty much done. But there's a big but on that. There's a background element that I would like to add moving as well, and it's an oscillating fan. The part of the background is actually based off of the store I used to work in, and at one point they had fans there, and sometimes they would be rotating, and so I'm sort of mirroring it a little bit off of that stuff. So what I decided was, because the background doesn't fit on one piece of paper, I have to actually use a second piece. What I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to create the other part of the background first, where the fan will be sitting. And then what I'll do is, over top of that, I'll make just the part of the fan that oscillates, right? Maybe 5 to 7 frames. It won't be anything too crazy. And then the rest of it's all going to be done in post-production work. I'll take the fan and I'll duplicate those frames of it rotating back and forth, right? And I'll make that happen in the background throughout the entire scene. Now, when I say entire scene, we're talking somewhere between 4 and 5 seconds. So this oscillating movement may only happen like 4 times, right? Twice, twice for one rotation and then twice for another rotation. So I may only do it 4 times, but I only have to draw it 1 time. So making a loop is one of those wonderful times where you can kind of get away with making less drawings, but you can repeat them. But it only really works, in my opinion, if you make a loop that would normally loop. So a fan oscillating is a normal thing that would go over and over again. You wouldn't question it. But if you have a character in the background and they're doing like a very repetitive movement, then they look sort of robotic. And typically you save that stuff for like background characters that are in a crowd. But I think with a non-living item that is set to rotate, that's completely acceptable. So that's what I'll be working on tonight. But before I get started on that, I got another announcement, if you can believe it. Now, those of you out there who watch me regularly or semi-regularly will know that a lot of times I bring up Patreon. In fact, I have Patreon mentioned on the bottom of this video right here. But I recently set up a different platform. I'm not getting rid of Patreon. I set up. Oh, thanks for the thumbs up, whoever gave it to me. Appreciate it. So I'm setting up I just set up this week, actually, just like 3 or 4 days ago. YouTube has something called channel memberships, and I wasn't going to do channel memberships back when I was introduced to them because I was like, yeah, but I already have Patreon. This seems kind of redundant. And then I realized, well, some people might be more comfortable on the YouTube space, and then maybe they don't want to jump ship and go over to Patreon. So I decided to meet the viewers where they are. And so now both things are available. So if you decide you want to check out channel memberships, I believe on this video, if you're watching on YouTube, that is, not if you're watching on Facebook, but I believe it's like somewhere there, down there somewhere below this video. I think there's a place where you can look into channel memberships, and I think they start at like 99 cents. So you could do one of those if you really feel like you want to support what I'm doing here on YouTube. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm not going to talk about it too much. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that that has started as of this week. I haven't really announced it anywhere on social media yet. So this is actually the first place I'm announcing it. So there you go. You heard it here first, folks. Channel memberships on YouTube are now live. If you feel like doing that kind of thing, it's there for you to do. And there are some perks on there. I believe if you write like a comment or something and you're a channel member, you get your comments like highlighted on the screen. And I don't fully understand all of it yet, but we can figure it out together as we go along. So whoever decides to be my first guinea pig, you can go ahead and do that, and then we'll figure out what happens. I'm excited to find out. It should be very cool. Anyway, let's go ahead and now that I've sufficiently bored anybody that was here, what we're going to do now is we're going to rotate the old monitor. Oops, I don't want to knock it off of my platform. That would be really bad. We don't want to do that. All right, so the plan tonight, like I said, I've got, now this is a little bit of a different setup than I usually have because I have this background image. I actually have it taped with masking tape. I've got it taped to my drawing board because if you notice, it's not hanging on the pegs. So I need it to stay in place somehow. So I had to tape it. And the part of it that's like at the edge of the paper, I have it exactly where I want it underneath my new piece of paper, and I'm going to draw the complete background here, and then I will stitch these two background elements together on the computer, and then I'll go in and start making the oscillating fan. So that should be pretty cool. Yeah, that should work. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and get this background started. Oh, hey, Kristen's here. Hi, Kristen. You know what's funny is I don't know how much I should believe. In the corner of my screen, you can't see it, but I've got a little like ticker that tells me how many people are watching right now. And as you're commenting in the comments, it says I have 0 people watching, but your comments are popping in. And then so it's hard for me to tell when somebody is watching and when they're not watching because I don't think this thing is up to date. I don't think it's keeping up to date. Yeah, thank you. I like this shirt a lot too. I'm a big Ren and Stimpy fan from back in the day. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and get started on this background. But this background that I'm working on is the last part of scene 22. Once I get this fan done and I get it merged into the scene, I can move on to scene 23. So probably this time next week, I will be on a completely different scene. Ooh. It's more exciting to me than it probably is to anyone else, but that's okay. I think it's pretty neat. See, scene 22 and scene 23 are a little bit longer than usual because there's more elements involved, more complicated stuff for me to do. So I think scene 23 might take me through the end of the month, honestly. It probably will. Oh, yeah. Love that sparkling Wawa. All right, this is fantastic. I'm going to get some music going. Hey, as always, feel free to chime in the comments if you have anything you want to ask me or if you want to say anything kind. Don't be jerky. Sometimes there's jerks out there. I'm not having any of it. None of the jerks. So this part of it, I'm just tracing over the drawing I already made, but then I'll continue the drawing after that because the paper wasn't long enough. So and that happens sometimes. It's definitely exciting to be getting ready to move into a new scene, but I also don't want to rush the one I'm on. So I'm not really like booking it right now, but I am trying to keep steady progress, or at least a little bit of progress every day. Some days I get more done than others. I'll tell you what though, that walk cycle was like, that was pretty challenging. And the reason why this one was challenging, as opposed to the other walk cycle, was because this one you could see the character's feet. So I had to make sure their feet were landing in the right spots. I'm not going to put all the detail in the background. I'm just getting like the general shapes down. Okay, so that's the tracing part. So now I'm going to go back in and start doing the rest of it. Which means I don't actually need to have this other part taped here anymore. So let me take that down off. There. Taking this tape off carefully because I don't want tape on the paper. There we go. There you go. So this is the background. But as you can see, this part of the drawing, like I had to stop right there and I wanted it to continue. So I'm going to continue this part on this page over here. And then I'll just like stitch them together on the computer. And then I can start working on the oscillating fan. So here we go. So now I'm free of the tracing, which is like great. I'm not a huge fan of working on tracing stuff. I'd rather just draw stuff. All right, there we go. Thanks for all the likes and hearts and stuff, folks. Appreciate it. Well, the question is, how far do I have to extend this image? That's the question. Let me see. Well, I need to extend it farther than I have right now. I need to go about to there. So I'm going to make a little notch on my paper so I know about where I need to go. And I'll need to come up with some other stuff to put in the background. And let's grab my ruler. There we go. And the question now is, what do I want to have on this side? Let's see. Let's do this. Let's have a background line. Like a horizon line. We'll put a refrigerator back there. It'll be good. So this is the background. This is the continued background from what I was working on over here. So we got this background here, and then this is the continuation. So this is going to like overlap that, and it's going to continue. Okay. All right, so now that I've got that background element, I'm going to make the fan. And again, this is the fan here that I'm going to have oscillating, but I'm going to do it separately. This is going to get like erased. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to put that onto what I'm making here, and I'll make it rotate. So this is the background element. This is stationary. This is not going to move. And the frames I'm doing now are going to be frames that move. So actually, I need to make that go on there now that I think about it. Let's get that. I'm actually going to take this opportunity to maybe change the design a little bit from my original sketch. See if I can find maybe a better way to do it. I like that better? Not necessarily. I don't really. Okay, so there we go. So this is, it may not look like much, but this is my oscillating fan head, okay? And it's turned in like that direction. So now I'm going to do more frames of it going around like that. And then that should work. So that's basically it. Now I'm just going to start making the other frames, and then all of this will be composited together. I appreciate you guys coming in and tossing in a like. But feel free to say hi while you're here. It's nice to know who's doing the likes. Unless, of course, you're the shy type, and I guess never mind. Hey, Nicole's here. Hey, Nicole. I can't tell if you're still here because it's hard to tell if the number at the top of my screen is accurate or not, but hello. Nicole's been hanging out with me on the live videos since I was doing Station Head Radio. Nicole's an OG, so she is. OG, original girl. That's what she is. Alright, let me get these off here. So, nothing like terribly exciting, but I feel like this is what I'm working on. I'm making this fan rotate. You can kind of see that, right? No, it's not the Eye of Sauron. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was thought that way. We are birthday twins! One of these days, Nicole, we got to meet up for our birthday. Our birthdays. We'll have some kind of a combined birthday celebration. Don't you live in don't tell me, aren't you in like Mississippi or somewhere like east of me. You're east of me, right? I was pretty sure of that. I don't know. Ah, you're in New Orleans. And I still haven't been there. I've still never visited there. I would very much like to go there. Check out what all the hubbub is about. All the hullabaloo. Nicole, you're such a lurker, hanging out in the background, not saying anything until I said, "Why are you guys talking?" Lurker. It's not creepy at all, Nicole. But I meant it affectionately. Does that work? I think I need to move that over a little bit. Hey! Cassie's here. Hey, Cassie. Everybody shows up in the 9 o'clock hour. Should I move my live draw to 9 o'clock? The first half an hour is like a dead zone. I might move it. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, it's 8 for you. Oh. Did you move to Mountain Time? Are you in Mountain Time, Cassie? Oh, man. That's not West Coast time. That's Mountain Time. Oh man, you did! You moved to Mountain Time. Well, congratulations. I've heard it's very confusing. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we're moving. Now we're moving somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. It's an old time zone. What does that mean? Aren't all time zones old time zones? Not in the middle anymore. Yeah. Well, where are you now? If you're glad to be out of the South, where'd you move to? Where did you head to? I'm a little sad. That means I can't just randomly like bump into you somewhere. That officially has made that not a possibility now. Oh, I did not keep this keep the proportions on this, did I? Oh, Colorado. Bottom of the Rockies. That is awesome. I'll bet it's really, really gorgeous. I'll bet it's gorgeous. I'll bet you love the mountains. If I know you, Cassie, and I sort of do. I wouldn't say I know you that well. I never had much of a chance to get to know you that well. The short time that we worked together. Yeah, I gotta change that. Last time I saw you was at that art show. Oh my gosh, which one though? 68 today. Okay, well, I can't say I blame you on that. That sounds pretty wonderful. What's the like? Is there a lot of opportunity for business out in Colorado? Because I meet a lot of people that like move here from Colorado. So I'm. Oh, 2017. Good night. Good night, Cassie. That is a long time. What a bummer. This makes me want to go and hang out with a bunch of people that I haven't seen in a while. Full-time student in the conservation realm. Oh, that's very cool. So, like, planetary conservation, or what are you conserving? Are you conserving water? No, I'm kidding. I'm sure it's planetary conservation. That's awesome. We definitely need people to be pursuing that for sure. Solid place to thrive. I love it. I love it. Well, that's great. I love hearing that. Congratulations. You deserve it. Do I want another in-between? I kind of think I might want another in-between. This might be more elaborate than I thought it was going to be, honestly. Wildlife and sustainable energies. Awesome. That's very cool. Do you have a focus on any particular one of those items? Are you focusing on a particular aspect of any of that? I wonder, or if it's just general. I mean, it's all important. I wouldn't say one thing is more important necessarily, but I'm also not a conservation expert, so So I think I'm going to do it in between here. Oh no, right there. I'll do it in between right there. That's right. Right now I've been focusing on wildlife due to the fires going on. One was 20 miles from me. Wasn't affected personally, but really sad. Oh my gosh. That would be so hard to deal with every day, I think. Well, I'm so glad that someone like you is out there learning about what we can do to make things better. If I'm not mistaken, though, we really do need companies to get on board because I think they're like the biggest offenders. Not to say that the rest of us shouldn't be doing what we can, but last I heard, companies are the ones that are causing the majority of the giant problems. Of course, that's really hard to control, isn't it? I work with lobbyists who do that for the big ones. Oh, good. Well, thank you for doing all that. It's an uphill struggle, but someone has to stand up for the planet. Yeah, I agree. Well, and also there needs to be. I mean, I hate to say it, but there needs to be like easy things that they can incorporate into the consumer landscape, so that everyday people can just maybe change something about their buying habits, and then it's small, but if everybody does it, then it makes a big change. So you got like those kinds of changes rippling out there. Even just composting. Austin has a company that will do it for you. It's huge on reducing carbon into the atmosphere. We don't need any more holes in the ozone layer. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, keep me up to date. I'm interested in your fighting the good fight there. I think that's really great. There we go. That's kind of what I wanted to do. Let's see, how many frames does that end up being? Is that 5? Yeah, it ends up being 5 frames. So basically, it's like a rotating coin animation in like Mario Brothers or something like that. Let's see if I can get this to like do a page flip. It's kind of hard to do a page flip sometimes for me. Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know if I can. Not really. I can't really get that. You can kind of see that, right? That sort of worked. Yeah. So that's like in one direction. Now I'm going to do the same thing in the other direction. And then I guess that's like 9 or 10 frames. And then that should do it for this whole scene, actually. You definitely see it. Oh, good. A lot of huge arenas have started composting. I think it's a step. I give them claps for it. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to tell you a thing that this might, oops, reminds me of Sonic rings. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Um, I'm going to tell you like a thing that I did. This might sound like maybe not that big of a deal, but I was pretty excited about it. I switched to those laundry strips, those like little strips, instead of buying those giant jugs, those giant plastic, because single-use plastic, if you can avoid it, is a good idea. Those giant plastic things full of like laundry detergent, I don't buy those anymore, and I haven't for a couple years. Yeah, that's great. Oh, good. Yeah, but not only did I switch myself to that, I got my mom and sister back in Ohio to switch over to the laundry strips. Like I've been slowly like telling people about doing that and trying to get people to do that. And I switched my toilet paper to a company that makes bamboo-based toilet paper, and everything that they ship is all like recyclable. And then, of course, with the bamboo-based paper, bamboo can be grown a lot easier than new trees. So I got people to switch to that too. I've been like doing that slowly. That's how it starts. You're doing wonderful work. Thank you. I mean, it's a simple thing. I'm just changing what I buy. But that's my point is like, you're awesome. You're out there doing like the fight stuff. And not all the consumers are going to do that. So what they need to do is start coming up with more and more things that consumers can change about their habits. And if they're not doing something as like big as what you're doing, at least if they change their buying habits, there could be a ripple effect of good change coming out of that, I think. So the plan now is I'm going to do these exact same frames, or at least 4 of them, but rotating in the other direction. I'm not going to do them right now because we're almost at an hour. But that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to scan all these. I know it's a whole piece of paper just for one little tiny drawing. It's a little bit wasteful. I understand that, but that's sort of I mean, I'm not going to throw them out. So basically, I'm going to use those. I could conserve paper and maybe take that image and just like rotate it, and maybe I will. Maybe I won't draw. Maybe I won't draw the same image on the reverse side because it's really the same thing, just flipped. I haven't decided yet, but my point is that's the next step, and then once that's done, I can composite all of this stuff with the existing frames from scene 22. And that should be it for scene 22. Something that let me rotate my camera here. Bamboo grows like crazy. Oh, good. I think you're right. Keep up the good work. Thank you. You too, of course. So I was contemplating once I get to a point where I'm not like when I get through all the pencil animation. Originally, I was going to ink everything the way that I did my comic strips. And I keep thinking about it more and more, and I don't like the idea of inking over these drawings. Back when Disney was doing hand-drawn animation, they wouldn't be inking over their drawings. What they did was they put a piece of a cell. I'm forgetting the word right now. Acetate. They'd put a piece of acetate over top of their drawing, and then they would paint, and so you would never ruin the original drawing. you would just simply paint on acetate, and then that acetate was what they would film. I'm not going to be doing that. So if I wanted to color everything by hand and I don't have acetate, I'd have to do it over top of my pencil drawing. Well, if I do something that I don't like, then I just ruin my pencil drawing. And even if I did something that I liked, then I ruined the pencil drawing because I would go over top of it. So what I'm thinking of doing is, after all this pencil animation is done, I'll go back to the beginning, to the original start of the cartoon, and go back and start cleaning everything up. But I'll clean it up in pencil, and then I'll make it look as good as I can with pencil and like as clean lines as I can with pencil, and then I'll just darken it on the computer. I won't even ink it in. I'll skip the inks altogether. I'll just do like a more refined pencil drawing. That's what I'm thinking of doing. It'll probably save me some time. It'll still be a lot of work to go back and do all the cleanup animation, but cleanup animation is always a lot of work. So that's what I'm thinking. I'll have to do like a test, some sort of a test frame to make sure that that's going to do what I want. But that's how I did the Lena Lone Star commercial. And that worked out pretty well. If I had more time on Lena Lone Star, I would have gone back and penciled it even more and made it look even cleaner. But I didn't do any inks on that cartoon, and that was sort of my like proto version of what I'm saying here. So I don't know. We'll see. That's what I'm thinking. So that's what I'll probably do. Next week, I'll hopefully be on to the next scene. But thanks to you guys for being here tonight. I really appreciate that. And if you haven't already, I'm just going to do a quick rundown of the things I announced at the beginning of this live stream tonight. Brand new video I put up this week about Batman Caped Crusader. It's a new show that's on Amazon Prime, and I watched the whole season, and I did a 40-minute review about it earlier this week. So I would love to invite you to check it out, and I'm inviting you to check it out. So that's one thing. And thing number two, I don't remember what thing number two was. Thing number three is I started channel memberships on YouTube. So if you feel like, I don't know, if that's something you like to do, is support people who make videos on YouTube, you can become a channel member. There's a little button, I think, somewhere down below the video there. So check that out, see if you like it. You get a little special icon next to your name, and I don't know, we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll be fun. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So the glow-in-the-dark brains pins, those pins, I've ordered them, and I should be getting a photograph sometime soon of like what the production looks like of the first sample pin, and then I will have to approve it, and then they'll go ahead and make the rest. But if you're still interested in getting a pin, it comes with a collectible trading card, a couple rubber backers on the back on the little pin posts, and it glows in the dark, folks. Pretty cool. The whole idea is to get these mailed out to everybody before by Halloween, so that you can have it for Halloween. So if you want, go ahead and send me a message, or you can just send me like $20 on Venmo, and that covers shipping. And then we'll go ahead and we'll get you. I'll get you. It's just me doing it. I'll get you a pin. But later this month, I should have a photo, and then I'll be ordering the trading cards shortly after that. So I'll keep you posted on the glow-in-the-dark brain pins for Halloween. I'm very excited to have a Halloween item this year. It's pretty cool. Anyway, thanks so much for being here. Thanks for the like and subscribe here on YouTube. I really do appreciate that. It helps my channel grow. You can also share this video with a friend, and maybe they'll come hang out with me next week just like you. And so thanks again. Have a good rest of your weekend coming up here. Thanks, everybody.